Hi, I just wanted to record a quick video showing how you can bake lighting into Vertex colors. So you're going to want to take your object, whatever object it is that you want to light. In this case, I just have a cube. I've recalculated the normals to be inside as if it were a room that you'd be inside. And I've also enabled backface culling in the viewport as well as in the settings for the material, which I believe this only shows up. Where is it? Yeah. If you're rendering in Eevee, but that's not important. What is important is whatever model you're trying to bake the lighting onto, you're going to want to make sure that it has some number of subdivisions or extra geometry. The more geometry your mesh has, the more accurate the vertex light bake will look. The less geometry you have, the less accurate it'll look. It just depends on your particular use case, I guess, how accurate you want to be, or how lightweight you want the model to be. But vertex colors aren't that big, I think. Anyway, speaking of vertex colors, this model currently has none. If we go to color attributes, you can see there is none. The quickest way to add vertex colors would be just to go up here and drop down, go to vertex paint, and that's it. It's added the color attribute. Now I'm going to make a small change here. Under here, I can say convert color attribute. I'm going to convert it from face corner to vertex. When I've tried baking it with face corner, it's looked strange, but that might just be my particular use case. You might want this, but if it looks weird, try setting it to this. See if it makes a difference. I'm also going to change it from light color to just regular color. I don't know if this makes that much of a difference, and honestly, I'm not that smart. So someone smarter than me is gonna tell you if this is better or worse. Doesn't matter. Um, the next thing you're going to want is lights. So I have this light here. If I go to the rendered view, you can see it here. It's nothing special. I just have temperature enabled, and I've set the temperature quite warm, so you can really tell that it's being lit properly. I've cranked up the power, the size is a little bit bigger. It's not super important. Just light your scene how you want it lit. Now, next thing you're going to need is, I'm just going to the shading tab to make it a little bit easier to see. You're going to make sure your object is selected. And I'm going to search for the color attribute node. And if you click here, it should show attribute here. And just to show what that looks like, it's all just white currently, which is fine. So you're going to want to make sure this is selected, both the object and the color attribute node. For light baking, I'd recommend keeping the material at just default, unless you have, well, actually, I'm going to show you in a minute that it probably won't matter. You're going to want to make sure, this is important, you are rendering with cycles. Baking things is not available in Eevee. It looks wrong right now, but if I just zoom in here so you can see inside, it's still working. It's just, using cycles. I'm going to change it from CPU to GPU just so it runs a little faster. And what you're going to want to do is scroll down here where it says bake, and you want to make sure the bake type is combined. You're going to want to make sure that the target is not image textures, but active color attribute, as in this one here. Since the scene isn't using any of emissions or transmissions or anything glossy, I'm turning those off. I don't think it really matters, but I'm doing that just for the sake of making it a little more clear what I'm doing. And from there, all you have to do is hit bake, and it'll start baking, depending on how big your model is. It might take a long time. It took a very short time there because I don't have a very complicated model. From here, we can actually go back to Eevee if you want. I do. And let's take a look at the bake. So I'm going to just drag this over here, and you can see the color of the vertices is being applied to the object properly. If I hide this light here, you can see that it's not even taking into consideration the light at all. And that's basically the whole thing done. And you might be wondering, why would I ever want this? Think of one reason. Normally when you're doing, like, you're making anything in game development where you need a model and you're lighting it, it's a little bit expensive to have a bunch of lights in your scene. It'd be better to bake it into the model somehow. You could bake it into the texture, but if you do it this way, what you can then do is you can bring in, a texture that you like. Oh, that's wrong. There we go. I've got this one here. Um, you can see it's being mapped to the object. We want this to be lit like how this is being lit. So the quickest way to do that in Blender would be to find the mix color node. And we're going to want to mix, I think it'd be better to do, well, it doesn't really matter. I want to mix this image color with the color from the vertex colors. And for the mixing mode, we want to make sure that it's set to multiply. And we slide this all the way up. And you can see now the lighting is being applied to the texture from before. And you can see in the corners here where there's less light, it's darker, and in the centers, it's brighter. This is a very simple example, but just to, I guess, give you a better idea, just so you can see. I'm basically done here, but we have, here's the light bake that we did, and here you can see it being applied to the texture from before. I can even show, here's the texture we had before, and here it is with the lighting information baked into the model, multiplying it with that. It's really simple once you figure out how to do it. Again, this is a really simple example, but I mean, now you know how to do this. You should go and make one of these. You should go right now. Stop watching this video and go make one right now.